On September 2, 1945, the long and devastating chapter of World War II officially came to a close. A historic event unfolded aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, as representatives of Japan signed the Instrument of Surrender. This act brought an end to a conflict that had spanned 6 continents, involved over 100 nations, and claimed tens of millions of lives. But did you know, the end of WWII was not just a singular moment, but a series of intricate events? Let's rewind a bit. The seeds of the conclusion had been sown months earlier in Europe. On May 8, 1945, known as Victory in Europe Day or VE Day, Nazi Germany had officially surrendered. This surrender marked the collapse of the Third Reich, a regime that had plunged the continent into chaos. However, the war in the Pacific was still very much active. The U.S. and its allies were engaged in a grueling campaign against Japan, which refused to capitulate despite staggering losses. The catalyst for Japan's surrender came in August 1945 with a demonstration of a devastating new form of warfare. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki resulted in unprecedented destruction, instantly altering the global landscape. More than 200,000 people, mostly civilians, perished, either immediately or from subsequent radiation exposure. These bombings, combined with the Soviet Union declaring war on Japan, created intense pressure on the Japanese government, leading them to finally accept the terms laid out in the Potsdam Declaration. On the day of surrender, a somber yet hopeful atmosphere permeated the decks of the USS Missouri. General Douglas MacArthur led the proceedings on behalf of the Allies, alongside representatives from various nations, including China, the Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom. Japan's delegates, led by Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu, solemnly signed the documents, effectively ending military hostilities. This was a moment of both relief and reflection. It marked not just the cessation of violence, but also the beginning of a new era of international relations. Yet, the end of World War II was not merely a page turned in history books. It set the stage for the geopolitical tensions of the Cold War, a rivalry that would define global politics for decades. The world emerged as a dichotomy of powers, between the capitalist West, led by the United States, and the communist East, dominated by the Soviet Union. In the aftermath, nations began the arduous task of rebuilding. New institutions were born, such as the United Nations, aimed at fostering peace and preventing future conflicts on such a devastating scale. Economies slowly recovered, but the scars, from cities reduced to rubble to the emotional and psychological toll on survivors, persisted. So, as we reflect on the end of World War II, it is crucial to remember the lessons learned from this pivotal moment in history. The courage to seek peace over conflict, the embrace of diplomacy over warfare, and the commitment to a cooperative global community are reminders of the enduring impact these events have on our world today. As we move forward, let these lessons guide us, ensuring that peace prevails for generations to come.